Hello, it's Tuesday, the 27th of May, 2008. This is Brian Shannon from alphatrends.net. The buyers were back here today. The S&P 500 finished with a gain of $1.13 or 0.82%. You can see here that the market came down last week to the rising 50-day moving average as we expected it to, and now we're getting a little bit of a bounce. What I thought was that the market was due for a likely bounce up probably towards the 10 and 20-day moving averages. So I think this market still has a possibility to continue to bounce in here a little bit. But realistically, when you look at the 10-minute time frame, it's just not in very good shape as we still have a declining 5-day moving average for one. And, you know, on the encouraging sign, though, here this pattern of lower highs and lower lows was broken late in the day. Now that 138.70, 5, it looks to be an area where we might continue to find a little bit of support and the market can continue to rally up. What we do see here, though, also is that we've got the potential for some resistance, this prior little level of support at about 139.20 or so. And that looks like it might be about where this 5-day moving average is met. So maybe a little bit further rally and then a pullback again and then a continuation of the uptrend I think would be the most bullish scenario here for this market. The 5-day moving average, as we see here on the 30-minute time frame, does continue to decline at a rapid pace, and the market typically needs to see that flatten out a little bit before you can really begin to trust the rallies. So looking at let's look at an hourly time frame in here. And you can see it's that 137.75 to 138. That's the area where this market really needs to hold. We still have the possibility that that this larger breakout here that failed to move could have been a bigger trap, and what we might be seeing is just a bounce rally in here before the next shoe drop. So continue to be very cautious in here overall, I think, because there is the risk of a bigger failure if the market does break below that, basically 137.75, 137, even 137.50, I think, is the area that you want to see it hold above here for the next couple days. So again, on Friday we had this pattern of higher highs and higher lows broken as the market did make this lower low. Now let's see if it does make that a lower high, and then a failure here could be much more severe as far as the magnitude of a sell-off potentially could take it. The NASDAQ, not the NASDAQ, but the financials here continue to hold above that 2440 level. I think breaking below 2440, you've got to be extra cautious on that S&P 500. I'm not going to analyze the smaller, shorter-term trends here of the XLF because it is badly damaged, and basically it looks like it's becoming more neutral. However, break below 2440 could bring about a little bit more fearful selling, and that's something to be aware of. The Russell 2000 is back above 73, and it seems as though that's going to be an important battlefield here for at least a while, as it first touched it here on this move about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's just been kind of battling back and forth below the declining 200-day moving average right around that 73 level, which plays the bigger significance here on the weekly time frame. Really up to one, again, like I said yesterday, I think you need to see it get it back above 75 before the longs can really breathe easier in here, and that the best level of support for this market I thought would be down near 71. The market, however, rallied up early on to the 5-day moving average, sold off from there, and then recaptured it late in the day here. So if you look at the 10-minute time frame, you can see that a little bit more clearly. That I think really right now, getting above this level here, 73.60, that's the more important, that's a more important shorter-term level for this market to breach as far as resistance. We do now see a higher low here, so that's encouraging, and getting above 73.60, that might put us in for another test of the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, which is right up at about 74.5 or so. So we're continuing to see a lot of mixed signals in there. The 1-minute time frame, you can see we had that strong rally that brought it up to that 5-day moving average right here. And then going back to this 1-minute time frame, you can see it broke below that VWAP, and then recovered nicely. Just a strong, higher highs and higher lows, and then a little bit of neutralization as it held above that 73 level for the last hour and a half, and it was able to close above 73. So very short term, it looks encouraging, but I think getting above 73.60, then things will be looking a lot more positive. The NASDAQ 100 finished with a gain of 1.76% today as it continues to find some support just above that 48 level where we see the 200-day moving average. So that's where we see a the level right now of support. Market was up on lighter volume today. It's not something to sell short on, but it's just something to be aware of. When we look at the 30-minute time frame, you can see that early on it ran up and tested that 5-day moving average, pulled back, and then broke nicely above it. So on the shorter term time frames, we have, this market got above this prior level at $49 a share. There was an important break on the downside because once it broke that $49 level after testing it a couple times, we saw a quick sell-off. There's a little bit of sideways action and then further weakness on Friday. Now we're back above that 49 level. We'll want to see that hold here over the next day or two. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback maybe down to, towards this level here. This 5-day moving average starts to flatten out. And then perhaps we can continue a little bit higher. One thing to be aware of is the potential that this market, with the 47.75 is the most important level of support for this market right now. If it continues to hold above there, that'll be a positive thing. But if we get something like this, that we have the possibility that potentially we're going to trace out this head and shoulders topping formation. So if we come back down to that 47.75 level again, you're going to be wanting to be very careful in there because that would potentially lead to a move of, this is let's just call this 2.5 points from a breakdown point of 48. That would give us a price target of 45.5. 45.5 would bring us down, actually well down here below the 50-day moving average. Don't put too much weight into that. In fact, don't put any weight into it right now as far as your trading decisions go because there's nothing to suggest that. It's only the possibility that we're going to see that pattern. For right now, though, perhaps my analysis is getting a little bit too forward-looking there because we have this little short-term uptrend in here, and 48.40 should hopefully hold as support. Worst case, if this morning's lows near 48.20 are broken, then I think getting below that level, then it's going to put us in for another test of that 47.75, and things could unwind from there pretty rapidly, I think.